Yep, here it is. Yep, that was, here we go. I'm sorry, I can't see who's in the council chamber, so
We bring up a roll call. Let's see.
here we go. I see is Arthur, and I see the birthday girl, Joanne, and I see Patrick. Are you the only three there, Patrick?
Council Morabito and Council Gino are
Can't
walking
hear
in
you.
right now.
Oh, there's Jessica. There's Stephen. Patrick, anybody on the other side of the chamber? No, okay, thank you. Well, we're at 4:03. We'll start the meeting if we can see the chamber. I'm not going to do a pledge of allegiance. Just get it rolling. So welcome to the Public Works Subcommittee of the Revere City Council. It's Monday, October 5th, and we have one item on our agenda. And it looks like it's a National Grid to do underground piping from Railroad Street all the way to the Winthrop Parkway, I believe, in Beachmont. So this is a pretty large package. So why don't we hear from Socrates from National Grid, if he can give us his name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Good afternoon. My name is Socrates Perez. Address would be 170 Medford Street in Malden. As previously discussed, this job is for reliability purposes. We're trying to install about 700. Let me get my notes here real quick. Just give me 1 second. So we're trying to, a couple of streets are going to be involved. Railroad Street, Winthrop Ave, Washburn Ave, Endicott Ave. So basically we're trying to install approximately 700 feet of new dock bank from existing manholes, install also new manholes, and also approximately like 7 new manholes will need to be installed. Let me see what else I have here. Install approximately 50 feet of new dock bank from a proposed manhole 127 on Revere Beach Parkway to pole 2220. That pole has been relocated 20 feet on Alberts Ave. And also we need to install approximately 3,800 feet of new dock bank from intersection with Revere Beach Parkway and Winter Ave. So down Winter Ave, heading east, we need to tap a couple poles and install 7 new manholes and 2 new heavy-duty handholds, as well as installing 2 vents stacks of two manholes along Winter Ave. I know this job is humongous, but I don't know if you have access to the sketch that was provided to you guys.
Okay, anything else?
That would be it.
Looks like this goes all the way down Winthrop Ave to the Winthrop Parkway along the shore. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yes. Well, it is huge. It covers several wards, actually mostly in Ward 1, if I'm correct.
Mr. Chairman?
Part of it's in Ward 2, but this thing is so massive. I don't know. I think Joanne,
Mr. Chairman,
if
yes.
Joanne can hear me,
Yes, can
she
you
has
hear
any
me?
comments on this?
So this came up about a month ago.
Patrick, can you
and-
give Joanne a heads up?
Counselor, she is
Can you hear me, Ira? He might be on mute.
I can hear her.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this came up a month ago when we tabled it because we weren't sure about if they were going to add new poles to this large construction. And so I had called Dan Cameron, and he assured me that there was not going to be any new poles. But I just heard Socrates say that there were going to be poles. So Socrates, can you answer that? Are there going to be new poles? Because that was my biggest concern.
No, no new poles. We're tapping from existing poles
Okay, great.
to go underground. No, no new poles.
The other thing that I asked Dan Cameron is there's a part of Winthrop Ave that's really bad. It's in bad condition. 700 through 900, and they're going to be doing construction on that piece of Winthrop Ave. So I asked him if he would pave it, and he said yes. So I would say let's take this off the table and pass it through. I have no problems with it. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments from the council?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Council Morabito.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Socrates, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Excellent. I was just have a quick question. What's the average, the estimated time on each of the streets? Do you expect any delays on any of them as well?
I don't expect any delays at the moment, but I'm not 100% sure what the time limit will be.
Okay, can you get back to me? Because I think it would be great if we could give our residents a heads up on like the timing of the situation, if it's a one-day project or a 1 month project.
I can get back to you.
Or a year, 2 years. So, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could get back to us.
Yeah, I can get back to you on that. No problem. I can send it to the clerk as well. I can send that information over.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Anybody else from the council have any comments? Council Janino? Council,
No comment.
no, Council Guanasso?
Not in this area, no.
Okay, Councilor Keefe, Mr. President. Nothing. Well, you know, I have a large concern about this. I see this being a year or so of work, ripping up all new streets that were recently paved. And I know Railroad Street is not one of them, but they're going to do massive work there. Now, I do have a question to Socrates. Are they tying this into that solar farm on Railroad Street?
I'm not aware of that.
They're not? Oh,
I'm not.
now on Revere Beach Parkway, I noticed they've already done some work. Is that part of this project too?
I don't think so, but I can double check.
The one at Albert Ave?
I don't know if that's related to this job because we have, as long as I know, they haven't moved forward with this job because they're waiting on approval.
So it looks like there's nothing actually going down the Parkway. It's mostly Railroad Street to Lee Burbank Highway. Then it's, the next work is at Revere Beach Parkway at Winthrop Ave near Domino's. They start up again, continues down there. Now they have to dig up the street, that whole length of Winthrop Ave from the Parkway over to Beachfront Square.
Yeah.
And that's a brand new paved street. And I know we have a rule that, you know, any street that's dug up within 5 years has to be repaved from curb to curb.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
So there's only the where Domino's to Beachmont Corner is no. So he said he would do curb to curb, and he said he would do, but the rest of it from Toretta's all the way down to the beach is not new streets. I don't remember the street being paved for at least 15 or 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of potholes. The street's a mess. So I asked him if he would pave, if he's going to do construction on that site, I asked him if he would pave curve to curve, and he said yes. So he did say that. So, but
Okay.
there's only, the new street's only in front of Suffolk Downs. That's it.
Okay, yeah, up to Beachfront Square or up to the train station. Is that
Right.
correct?
Right, yes. Yes, and then the rest of it's all potholes and patched, and
Okay.
it's not in good shape at all.
I was concerned about that, you know, that's why I let you speak, and I thought there was some new construction, new paving on Winthrop Ave from Beachfront Square down to the beach, down to the Parkway. But if you said he's not doing that, he's doing that whole length or just part of it?
He's doing the whole Winthrop Ave, yes. He's starting from the skating rink all the way down to the end of Winthrop Ave where Short Beach is.
The skating rink?
That's where they're going to start, around near the skating rink, down to Railroad Ave, then around to Revere Beach Parkway, and then on to Winthrop Ave, and they're going to stop down near Short Beach.
Wow. Well, I would ask that, you know, put it in that I would like to see Railroad Street repaved. If he's going to be digging it up like that, because you've got several businesses down there.
The Railroad Ave is the part where it's on Revere Beach Parkway, I'm pretty sure. And after that, there's no bridge. You would have to put the bridge there. I don't think on Railroad Ave, when you come in through American Legion Highway, is going to get touched. I'm not really sure about that, but I think it's just along that straight path from the station, the skating rink, all the way around down to Winthrop Ave, down to Short Beach.
Well, the plan I'm looking at shows Railroad Street starting at manhole 28 in Commonwealth handhole 29, going the full length of Railroad Street down to Lee Burbank Highway, with two manholes being installed on that street on either side of the old railroad tracks.
If I may, I have another person online that can talk about more about the project. I think he
Okay.
raised his hand.
Name and address for the record, if you would, please. You there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Dan Combs with Leidos, the consulting engineer with National Grid on this project.
Okay. Welcome.
First, I'd like to speak to the schedule concern raised by the other counselor. We're trying to set up a meeting with we've already had several meetings with engineers and the fire department to go over the path and the restoration. We're going to go over another one regarding the police protection outline in regards to coding and schedule. I know that all these intersections are very busy, so the project manager on this project is scheduling that. Tentative schedule is you're right, it is about going to be more than a year, and that's end to end though, because the project does continue into Winthrop, looking to start in April, in the Winthrop end and work towards the Revere, and then the first part is on DCR property, and then we would probably this time next year would be on property owned by Revere. As far as the restoration goes on Railroad Street, right now we had about crown to curb was our proposal because we were staying as much as we could to one side of the road. If you are looking to do full curb, I can discuss that with the project manager.
I know the street, and, honestly, even if they gave one wide path down Railroad Street, down to Lee Burbank Highway from Durant, because that's about where you're starting there, to see one wide path of access rather than just the trench area covered.
So a full width of what the city owns.
Yeah,
For-
not the
for
full
good paving.
40 feet. I don't think the full 40 is necessary of that street. If the owners of the properties want to do wider, let them worry about that. But I would like to get the full width of the paving machine.
Sure.
And now you say you're going down the Parkway, but that's not on this proposal.
That is correct because the grant of a location would be awarded by DCR,
DCR.
as we are on Revere Beach Parkway.
Okay.
And the section on the Lee Burbank Highway would be awarded by MassDOT.
MassDOT. Okay. Well, I would put in, request, that the committee put a condition on it that, the Railroad Street would be the width of, it's about 15 feet, maybe, the width of what that paving machine. And that Winthrop Ave from Donley Square down to Winthrop Parkway be fully repaved from curb to curb, that be included in the conditions of the approval.
Is that stating from the western edge where it turns off of Revere Beach Parkway?
Yes, because that's Winthrop Ave, that's a newly paved street, so that would have to be wall to wall. That's correct, I'm sorry. So it'd be actually from Revere Beach Parkway all the way down to Winthrop Parkway at the shoreline. Would get
Okay.
repaved, wall to wall, curb to curb. That fit with you, Joanne?
Yes, but if we can do that, that would be wonderful, but it is, the only new paved street is from where Beachmont 1 is, going into Beachmont to the train station, because that's where they did the work for the, I think National Grid did they did the sewer work,
Right.
the water pipe work. So they did it
Yeah.
from Beachmont 1 to all the way down to Beachmont Station. So that's where we got the new,
That's correct.
Yeah,
So
the
they'd
new
have to
road.
they'd have to redo that whole wall to wall from St. Domino's or Revere Beach Parkway down to, Beachmont Square, and then from Beachmont Square, Dan already agreed to do all the way down to Winthrop Parkway along the shore wall. that correct?
yes, a certain part, yes, but if we can get the whole street, that would be wonderful.
Well,
So,
I'm
Yeah,
willing, I'm
even
willing to
once-
put in the conditions if you want to approve,
I would love
Approve
to
it.
put it, I would approve that, definitely, the condition.
sorry.
As the route approaches Summer Street and we are majority in the sidewalk, we were hoping to just do the sidewalk between Summer Street and Endicott
Okay,
or Baldwin Street there, where the route is just in the sidewalk. We would obviously, repair the intersection crossings with Baldwin Street and Summer Street. But we were hoping to just do the sidewalk by then because we were able to find room in the sidewalk for our design.
okay. I can-
Excuse
go ahead,
me,
Joanne.
Mr. Chairman, so Dan Cameron and I agreed on that he would do from 770 to 900, where it's really pretty bad. But I mean, if we could get from Donley Square all the way down to Winthrop Parkway, that would be wonderful. So,
Well, yeah, I just want to, I don't want to override what Dan said, what he agreed to with you. But as far as the sidewalks are concerned, wherever you go into the sidewalks, I would ask that those be redone with concrete. Make sure they're concrete, not asphalt.
Sure. That address 900 matches up with where I was already drawing to do
Okay.
curb to curb.
Joanne, let's go with that up to now as far as I'm
Sounds
concerned.
good.
If you're happy with that, but you know, if they're not cutting up the roadway in those other areas, no sense of making them repave it.
okay, thank you.
So, but new sidewalks from wherever they go on to the sidewalk, the sidewalks must be poured concrete.
Sure.
Okay,
Got that noted.
okay. Anything else, Joanne?
I think you've covered it, Ira. Good, thank you.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead. Who?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. House Guanasso.
Mr. Chairman, you did mention this, so I'm bringing it up. They just completed a job across from Paul Revere School, and on Revere Street, they put asphalt instead of concrete. Now, prior to their coming to that location, it was concrete, and would hope that that Socrates and his crew would get back there and put concrete and replace it, that they've put the asphalt there. And they also, the work that they did on Bossom Street, they replaced with asphalt, and it should be concrete.
Okay. Counselor, just as an FYI, I've run into that in my neighborhoods, and I reinforced that with them even after they did the work, and it's something that we have to remind them that that's work they have to do. And I don't know if you have direct contact with Dan Cameron, but I would send him an email reminding him of that and take pictures of it and send that with it, so they know what you're exactly talking about.
Well, Mr. Chairman, that's right.
I waited about a month before they came to do mine.
It's
after
right,
I sent them
Mr.
the
Chairman,
email.
it's right
Go
on
ahead.
Revere Street, and it's right across from the Paul Revere School, and it's complicating the ADA requirement based on the fact that we just had that requirement fulfilled there this past year, and they uprooted it. So I
Yep.
think just to make sure that ADA is also satisfied, they have to come back and revisit that spot and correct it.
Okay, Socrates, did
Mr.
you catch that
Mr. Chairman.
from Council Guanasso?
Yes, if you could send me an email, I can forward that to Dan Cameron, and he will be in touch with you guys.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, Arthur?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman. May I-
Sir, who's that?
Council Zambuto, if I can.
Oh, I'm sorry, didn't see you there.
Thanks.
Welcome, Counselor.
Thank you. If I can make a point of information, and it's in no way apologizing for National Grid. I know that their policy is when they do a service or a repair, they temporarily patch with asphalt, but they absolutely come back and have to come back to do concrete. What they usually do is when they have 8 or 10 panels to do, they try to schedule it so they come and do all those concrete panels at once. So it has been the history that I found on jobs that that's what they do. But I'm not apologizing for them. They absolutely got to get back there and do it, but that's usually the case. Thank you.
And you are correct, Counselor, and but you have to stay on them as part of the punch list. Anybody else? Counselor Visconti, anything? No. Okay, with that, I guess we can vote on this with the conditions that we set forth, if Ashley has them.
Yes, one
If
second.
you- Yeah,
So the condition is as follows, that the street, that Winthrop Avenue be repaved from Donnelly Square to Winthrop Parkway. In addition, that any sidewalks that are removed during this construction be replaced with concrete sidewalks. So for the vote, shall the city council, in accordance with the conditions provided by the subcommittee, grant the petition to National Grid?
actually,
Councilor Gwinnett? Yeah,
we included Railroad Street on that? At least a 15-foot path. for the length
Repave.
of-
real. 15 foot.
Yeah. From the width, for the width of Railroad Street to cover their trench.
That's noted as well.
Thank you.
So on those conditions from the Public Works Subcommittee, shall the City Council grant the petition of National Grid in accordance with the plan on file? Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Rotundo is absent. Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. Council President Keefe.
Yes.
Yes. Chairman Novoselsky.
Yes,
Yes, this petition shall be forwarded to the full City Council with the conditions added by the subcommittee.
thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us at the subcommittee meeting, and we will declare this meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Appointment Subcommittee meeting for October 5th, 2020. I would like to introduce the members of the Appointment Subcommittee: Councilor Janino, Councilor McKenna, Councilor Powers, Councilor Visconti, and Councilor Keefe. We have a couple of items on our agenda this evening up for proposal. These are submitted by the mayor for our approval, and I'll read them as they appear. 20-279 is the appointment of J. Pandella Construction as a licensed drain layer. Is J. Pandella joining us on Zoom?
No, I don't see them, Councilor Guanasso. They're not present.
Madam Clerk, if memory serves me correct, I think this is the second meeting in a row that they chose not to attend. And I understand that they are doing work in the city. To me, that's a derelict of responsibility, and I would ask and send a communication to the mayor telling them to cease any work that they're doing in the city until they appear before the Appointment Subcommittee.
Will do, Chairman.
Thank you. For the membership of the Appointment Subcommittee, the appointment of J. Pandella Construction will be placed on hold until their appearance. Second is 20-324, appointment of Janine Grillo Mara to the Human Rights Commission. Is Janine present, please?
Yes, I am here.
Hi, Janine, how are you?
Good, how are you?
State your name and address for the record, please.
Janine Grillo Mara, 229 Rice Avenue in Revere.
Can you give us a brief description of what you would like to do on the Human Rights Commission?
I feel that my background as a meditation teacher with mindfulness training and compassion training, as well as recent months of educating myself around these difficult issues with race and diversity and equality, will allow me to offer something in terms of some resources around education, as well as to use my background in seeing that we're all here as human beings, and the best way that we can take action and help make things more harmonious for everyone.
Thank you. Any members of the Appointment Subcommittee wishing to speak? Janine, guess what? Councilor Morabito.
Thank you. I know I'm not a,
I'm going to ask
Committee
them
member.
next. I was going to ask for anyone else. So go right ahead.
thank you, I appreciate that. Just want to tell you that I listened to your closing statement at the informal meeting of the Human Rights Commission, and I was really taken back by it. I thought it was, I was really touched by your closing statements, because when I put in the motion to reestablish the Human Rights Commission, my main goal was to make sure that everyone had a resource to go to. And more importantly, that there was a commission that could provide education. And in your closing statements, and as you reiterated tonight, you're open-minded. And that's all, I think, as someone who's a gay man, that's all I can ask people to do. Your religious beliefs are your religious beliefs. I'm entitled to love or be loved by whomever. And I think for me, it's important to have people be open-minded and to have the skill set to be willing to learn and educate themselves and realize, you know what, hey, conversion therapy doesn't work, you know. This is who I am, this is how I was born. So having the skill sets of just listening, trying to understand, and taking the education as much as you can is appreciated on my part. So thank you for your closing statements the other day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor Miravito.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could just speak on all of the candidates in front of us, I think that I didn't want to sort any of them out individually. I wanted to point out that I did watch the Human Rights Commission's opening meeting last week, and I thought it was really, really well put. I thought it was very refreshing to see the dialogue that was created. I was very excited about the diverse group that we had in front of us, and they were all extremely well-spoken, and each one of them seemed very genuinely interested in moving the city forward in a positive direction towards human rights. I will state for the record, I am actually I'm friendly, and I've been friends with Jalon Fowler for a number of years through our children playing youth sports together, but also our kids going to school together. So specifically, Jalon, I've had a great relationship with, and I'm excited at all the candidates. So I'll just speak on on all of them collaboratively. The group in front of us, I'll be very excited about offering affirmative votes on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. At this time, I'm going to ask a roll call of the membership of the subcommittee. Councilor Janino. Councilor Janino votes yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna votes yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Visconti. Councilor Visconti votes yes. Council President Keefe.
Yes.
Council President Keefe votes yes, and the Chair, Arthur Quinasso, votes yes. Janine, we will vote this out favorably this evening. We won't use this against you because of your dear husband. We love your husband, but we are taking you on your word that you will treat him kindly because you're going to go to this and be a fair person on the, and certainly show the character that you have within your family, and certainly the human rights are going to be a better commission having you on board. We're looking forward to you serving our community. Thank you again for appearing before us, and thank the mayor and yourself for taking part in this process.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Next is 20-325, appointment of Jalon Fowler to the Human Rights Commission. Jalon, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Happy to be here before you. I hope you all had a chance to see my letter of just introduction to myself.
Jalon, before you continue, could you please give us your address, please?
Oh, sure. 112B Florence Avenue.
Thank you. Continue.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm here before you as a pending appointee. I'm really excited to possibly be able to join the Human Rights Committee. I'm passionate about it, passionate about Revere. I've raised my kids here. We've become, integral members of the community. I work in the city in Boston, software development, my whole career. That's a little bit about me. I do have 3 children in the community. So, it would be my honor to serve in it.
Thank you. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor Janino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say thank you for the beautiful introduction piece you wrote to us. I thought that was so classy and so kind. And when you came before us just now, I remembered that I forgot to respond to your email because I read it and I was so taken aback by it. So thank you for taking the time to do that. I think you're a wonderful candidate, and I really look forward to getting the opportunity to know you better over the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors from the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, Councilor Morabito.
Just want to acknowledge that I did receive your letter as well. It was written perfectly. Also, you mentioned that you were passionate for this community, but one thing that stands out, which will make you a great member, I saw you on the news, local news, and you were very, very passionate. And it's one thing to be passionate as an individual, but to pass that along to your children who understood the fundamental rights, that they're human rights, is something not to, basically that they're your children, you pass down a legacy to understand that their human rights is very important. And if it takes peacefully protesting at an event that is the strongest form of standing up for your rights. So I admire that, and I think you're going to be a good fit to the committee.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, through you to Jalon. Jalon, what can I say? I got your letter. It was outstanding. I did respond to you, and you hit some points in my heart, and my feelings were with you. You've done a great job so far, and I look forward for you to continue on the Human Rights Commission as a leader, as all of you will be, to something new to the city of Revere. And I look forward to the diversity of this committee. And as Shirley Ave is diverse, and also, I look forward to voting for you, not only because what I just said, but also because you're one of my constituents.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Jalon.
Thank you.
Jalon, you come highly recommended by my colleagues. The unfortunate part about it is Council President Keefe told me that he's a very good friend of yours, and we won't use that against you, Jalon. We'll use that. We'll use that in the spirit to which it was given. And certainly everything, I don't really know you, but everything I hear about you is terrific. You sound like a wonderful person, a person that human rights is a perfect niche for you to help our community grow and to make our community more understanding of the needs of today's world and what we should be doing and carrying ourselves on and making lives better for everybody. And so we wish you well. I'll ask for a vote now from the subcommittee, and then we will take this on as a vote this evening by the committee of the whole. And I'm sure you'll be elected and appointed to this position. Again, I applaud the mayor on behalf of him submission of your name to this very sensitive commission that we're waiting for. We've been long waiting for, and now we finally get, I think, something sounding to be like a first-class event happening in our community. So at this time, I'll ask for a roll call. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor Janino votes yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna votes yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti votes yes. Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair, Arthur Guanasso, votes yes. So we will ask the committee of the whole to vote you all favorably. Congratulations, and please do a good job for our community. We certainly need it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks again, Councilor Keefe, for the kind words. Appreciate it.
Bye.
I know.
We're going to go a little bit out of order for whatever you have there because Kathy Reinstein will be a little late in appearing.
She's on.
She zoomed in? Okay. So next is 20-326, appointment of Kathy Reinstein to the Human Rights Commission. When you get zoomed in, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Kathy Ann Reinstein, 5 Ensign Street.
Welcome. Could you say a brief summary of what you'd like to do as a member of the appointments, the Human Rights Commission?
Sure. Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all. I want to just thank the mayor for putting my name forward. I'm really honored to be considered before all of you. I know all of you. I was a state representative for the city of Revere for 15 years. And obviously I have a lifetime of public service with my family. And as you know, I've been out of office for quite some time, but I know that this is always a tough conversation, and this has been a controversial group to bring back, and I think it's necessary now more than ever. And I think I'm really looking forward, if I have the honor of being appointed to the commission, for productive and civil discourse and for tackling tough issues, having difficult conversations, and trying to find common ground, because this is a great city. Definitely all the members that I met in the initial meeting, many that I didn't know, all share, like all of us do on this call or this Zoom, a real love for the city. And as we're all residents here, we want to see the city thrive, and certainly all the people who live within the city. So I appreciate the consideration of all of you, and if I'm appointed, I really look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. Any members of the subcommittee? Councilor Janino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to speak in favor of this appointment. I think that Kathy is a great person for this job. She's very well versed in the issues and knows the city inside and out, so I look forward to voting yes for you this evening.
Thank you. Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kathy, we've been friends for a long time. I think with your extensive experience that you have, I believe you'll be a great addition to this committee. So I'll be voting for you tonight. Thank you.
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was pleasantly surprised to see Kathy Reinstein's name on the list of appointees, and she's a great public servant. We don't always agree on political issues. However, I can't think of someone who cares about Revere more and cares about doing the right thing more. So I'll be thrilled to vote for her when it comes before the full city council. And thank you for wanting to serve.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Visconti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say that this is a part of the superfecta, as they say. One of the four candidates that have we're fortunate to have every single one of them, okay? And I just wanted to say thank you to Kathy and all the appointees. I think it's four great appointments, and I look forward to supporting all four candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor President Keefe.
Thank you. I know at the beginning I spoke on behalf of all, but just wanted to point out again, you know, I read a lot of books. I think we all read books, but complementary leadership is one that always stands out to me when I think about forming groups of people to help get to a goal. And the people in front of us and some of the other members that have already been appointed, you look at the styles and you look at the traits and you look at the history that they have, and this is a great example of complementary leadership. Kathy brings another piece to that puzzle that she will help make this entire group really work well. Not everyone is the same. Everyone's going to come with different life experiences and different approaches and different areas of expertise. And Kathy certainly is going to bring one of those pieces that's really important and vital. So, of course, she'll have my support tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Morbido.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd be remiss if I didn't speak on this appointment. About 16 years ago, in 2004, when you think of marriage equality this day and age, for some people, it doesn't seem discomforting in Massachusetts. Considering in 2015, same-sex marriage was recognized by the Supreme Court. In 2004, when Kathy Ann Reinstein was on the state honorable body as a House representative, she did something that meant so much for me, and that's how I first heard of her and got involved in politics. She was a strong supporter of marriage equality, and she helped push marriage equality in the state of Massachusetts, making it the first state in all of the United States legal. It was legal in the state of Massachusetts because of legislators like her. And she did it because she felt the rights of not just straight people, every person, everybody should be heard. And she really believed that. And for someone like me, who was in the closet and grew up in a hardcore Italian family, and being gay was not spoken about at all. Your family would probably turn their backs on you when I grew up. I was fortunate enough, my family did not, but I've seen friends whose families just walked away from them. And just because it wasn't normal, you were treated as if you had a mental illness. But our state rep at the time could see through that. She did something what a lot of other state representatives didn't do. She was a champion for marriage equality. And for that one person like me who didn't have the voice, who were scared to come out and scared to say something or champion and say, hey, this is right. But there was that little voice when I was watching Kathy Ann Reinstein, and I'm sure there were thousands of us throughout the state that looked at her and it's like, that's how I'm feeling. Why can't I love who I want to love without being criticized? And I would be remiss once again if I didn't say, your efforts is exactly what we need on the Human Rights Commission. So thank you. Thank you for all you've done in the past, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. Thank you very much for those words. Kathy.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, Councilor Novoselsky.
thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I would be remiss also. I remember Kathy before Kathy. Her father gave me my first city appointment back in 1970. So I remember when she was born. And she grew up under the guidance of Billy Reinstein. And did anybody that could learn something, it was Kathy from her dad. And she learned how to negotiate and twist arms at times. And it was in a negotiation stage, more than anything else. But you have to do that. And that's what's going to be here. And you're going to have so many diverse, different minds and different thoughts and different feelings of different categories. So I think Kathy's going to be a perfect fit. I thank the mayor for putting her name up, and I want to know if the dog's coming on with you. So with that, I will vote for her when it comes up to the full council.
Thank you,
Good luck, Kathy.
Councilor
Thank
Novoselsky.
you.
Kathy, it's Arthur Guanasso, your dear friend, who saw you grow up in your household, in my household, and enjoying with my family since birth. You were the nicest kid then, raised by parents who were caring and considerate of our community. I grew up under your father. As I told you privately many times, I didn't know a lot of things until I met Dad. And certainly through all those undertakings was a little girl crawling around doing things. And I still see you as the little girl that you were. And I'm so proud to see what you've grown up to be and so representative of people. And you're just a nice kid, a nice person, and certainly I enjoy your friendship, and it's been many, many years, since the 70s, so that's a long time ago, and certainly that's a thing to be proud of in today's world. Somebody can say, I've had friends since the 70s, and you weren't there at the time, but your dad was, and your parents, your mother and father were, and I'm certainly proud and be honored to vote for you this evening for this position. I think the mayor, again, has made a tremendous selection of you, and I'm glad that you accepted to come on to such a sensitive position to help our city in trying times and be fair to everybody. And congratulations, we will be voting all of you out this evening, and the Committee of the Whole meets, and we congratulate each and every one of you. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you.
Next, 20-327, appointment of Chiama Masu Shea So In. And I absolutely destroyed the saying of that. So when you Shame. So when you come and introduce yourself, please state your name, as I should say it, and your address, please. Are you present?
Yes, yes, sir. Hello, everyone.
How are you?
My name is Shema Mansour Hosseini. If you're comfortable, you can just call me Shay. If that's.
I love that, Shay. Thank you.
I live at 525 Beach Street, apartment 102, and I am honored to be in front of all of you guys today. As I guess as the youngest one here, it feels kind of intimidating when I see such champions of our of our community doing so many good things for our community and for the future generations. And I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't do such like drastic things, but I'm like, if I were to be appointing to the committee, I would be so honored and so proud that I'll be in with a group of people who have done so many good things for our community. I'm really touched by the story that you gave, Counselor Morabito. It's people with your stories and your struggles that I constantly fight for. I tell people, I'm as a future physician, it is my duty, and I'm taking my physician's oath right now. It's my oath to protect everyone of any sex, gender, sexual orientation, religion, the whole shebang. Like, I can't call myself a physician if I don't stand up for all human rights for all people of all races, all genders, all sexualities, all gender orientations. And I can't be here today if I didn't believe so genuinely. So that's why I do want to be a part of the Human Rights Commission, to not only continue to show my dedication to those people who cannot stand up to themselves, but to continue providing support and continue to provide advocacy for those who don't have a voice in their community. In addition, like I mentioned before, as one of the youngest people here, I feel like I have the need to represent all of the younger generation in Revere. There are some kids that I know that do not feel comfortable talking about their feelings, that are scared because they're going to be backlash by what they believe in. And I believe, like I said, I stand up for everyone's rights, and I believe that I would bring that sort of advocacy as someone who is part of the younger generation to represent those who don't have a voice, either in the younger generation or also the older generation. I do not discriminate by age, trust me on that. But and it breaks my heart. I'm not going to try to cry because I don't cry. I cry metaphorical tears, but it breaks my heart when I see people still complain about the human rights that they're supposed to have as an American citizen, or even as someone who lives in the United States, or even as a human being. It's like they don't get those rights, and I'm just like, how can you not? And it's like, not only does it break my heart, it's frustrating when I don't see that goal. Like, I want, when Morabito, when you said like you finally felt someone who represented you, who talked about your true feelings, like when we were talking about with Kathy Reinstein, I want to be that. I want to do that for everyone, which is like isn't possible in today's day and age. But that's my goal. That's my life's goal. Is to stand up for everyone's human rights, no matter what it is, no matter how wrong people see it. It's a human base. It's basic human right. You know what? No other human should take that away from you. And and that's, I guess, like, I am very, like, if I do get to be appointed to this community, I am very excited. And trust me when I say I'll start working hard right away, I will. I'm a very hard worker, and like I've told to everyone, I would sacrifice my own life for Revere. Revere is my home. Even though I was not born and raised in it, I've come to love it as of I was raised here. And I would do whatever it is to protect it and the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. Members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none. Any members of the City Council wishing to speak? Councilor Morabito.
Shay, let me just say thank you. Thank you for your passion and your willingness to serve and be open-minded. That means a lot. You may be young, but I'll tell you, you have a bright future. You're definitely going to be a shining star in the city, and I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you very much, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. Shay, the only thing I could say is...
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was quite a presentation, Shay. And, looking at your resume, you already are a shining star. The things that you've done what you've gone through so far, being the chair of our Democratic Committee for Ward 2. I'm very proud. I was proud to see you at the Democratic Committee meeting when we voted for you. And I look for big things for you. And I look forward to working with you. You're not far from me, and 525 Beach Street is a new facility in Revere. I was proud to have it built there and work with everybody that's there, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And I congratulate you and look forward to voting for you tonight.
Thank you very much, Counselor.
Thank you, Councilor Novoselsky. Shay, the only thing I can say is, the mayor has done us proud by submitting a name of someone of your caliber who's going to be representative of the people with a lot of enthusiasm. It excels throughout your conversation. You certainly spark a good interest within our body, and it shows. And you're the type of personality that we need in our community to show young people there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. And I think, Shay, that so far that in the conversations I've been having with various councilors is you're directing yourselves and others in the right direction, and you're doing a wonderful job for our city. And it's a proud thing for you and your family that you're doing the type of thing that you do, and because of your personality. So again, we will vote you out favorably this evening. I will ask for a vote of the subcommittee now, and then we will take this up this evening for a vote from the committee of the whole. Members of the subcommittee, Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. So again, congratulations to all of the appointees this evening. You will be voted out favorably of the committee of the whole, and we thank you for your participation. And someday we will join together hand in hand in making our community a better place to live. And thank you for the membership of the council for appearing at the appointment subcommittee. This concludes the appointment subcommittee of October 5th, 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the October 5th, 2020 meeting of the Zoning Subcommittee of the Revere City Council. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Chairman Zambudo. Councilor Janino.
Present.
Here, Councilor Guanasso.
Here.
Here, Councilor Morbido.
Here.
Here, Councilor Visconti.
Here.
Here, Councilor Keefe.
Here?
Here, and Chairman Zambudo.
Here.
Here, quorum is present.
I'm here.
First item on the agenda is 20-244 Gunner Holdings, 30 Railroad Street, Revere, Mass, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to operate a commercial parking lot on Lot A at 44 Railroad Street.
Madam Clerk, I believe we have a letter on file asking to postpone this. Is that correct?
Yes, there's a letter from Attorney Simeone dated September 30th. He's requesting that the application be held over until the next available subcommittee meeting.
Okay, and when is our next city council meeting?
The next city council meeting is going to be held on October 25th. There is already a legislative affairs committee scheduled from 5 to 6.
Okay, so let's schedule a zoning committee at 4:30.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Next item on the agenda is 20-322. Shiabuzu ALM Realty LLC, 18 Cabral Drive, Middleton, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to demolish a pre-existing non-conforming 5-unit structure and construct a new 4-unit condominium structure at 79-81 Temple Street. I'm just going to promote the representing attorneys to a panelist. Hold on.
Are you ready for me?
Name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Carrie Ann Green. I'm an attorney with Ambrosio Brown, address of 14 Proctor Avenue in Revere.
Okay, what do you have to offer?
So I represent the proponent of this. I'm a proponent of this project, and I'm the attorney for the petitioner, Shiabuzu ALM Realty LLC. As I discussed last week, my client recently purchased this property on Temple Street. The property, as he purchased it, is not in great condition. It's a burnt out 5-family house. It's not great. He's seeking to replace this pre-existing non-conforming apartment building with a new contemporary 4-unit condominium building. One big benefit of this project is that it will result in a less dense building. The existing use is a 5-family, and my client is proposing a 4-unit building. The project will also be providing all parking on site. Each unit will have a 2-car garage, so this project will not be adding to on-street parking. Furthermore, this project will result in home ownership because the project is being developed as condominium units and not as an apartment complex. This will attract less transient residents and will encourage people to set down roots in the city. This project also has the support of the ward councilor. It's a great project for the city and represents an opportunity to revitalize a derelict, burnt out property. So we would ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. See, you had a lot to offer. Councilor Guanasso.
Mr. Chairman, I certainly had the opportunity to review the proposal before us this evening in detail. I'm very proud to say that, and I said it at the public hearing, that I think this is going to be a wonderful event for the area down in Temple Street. I'm very proud to say that in the last few years, we're seeing the revitalization of Temple Street. People are taking care of their properties. They're doing a great job. And it seems like since the advent of PACE coming to the community, it's given a new spirit to the area. This is going to replace an eyesore. If anyone were to go down and visit this particular site, you wouldn't want it anywhere near your home. It's a complete wreck. And used to house legally 5, but we knew for sure there were 6 families living out of that site prior to the fire. And after the fire, we've had to live with this awful looking existence that's there now. And I'm so pleased to see that they're coming in with this kind of proposal, Mr. Chairman, that it's not only going to reduce the number of size, it's gone from 5 to 4, but they're going to have off-street parking for their properties, and they don't need to park in the public street. So then again, is a great relief for the neighborhood, and I think why I'm in favor of this so strongly is I can't wait for this to get developed and to show the people this is what we need. This is the type of development that improves your area. And certainly it displaces something that's aesthetically not pleasing to anybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor, and you're absolutely right about the PACE project revitalizing that area. Thanks to East Boston Neighborhood Health Center and Manny Lopes. Great people. Really, that area is going to be, this is really going to add to that area. Beverly Hills, beautiful. Any other councilors? Any other committee members? Hearing none, we'll call for a roll call on this.
Chairman Zambuto, the Site Plan Review Committee has submitted 7 conditions to be added to the special permit. Would you like those to be read into the record?
And I'm sure the attorney has agreed to these conditions. Is that correct?
Could you read the conditions?
The site plan review.
Okay, yeah, those are fine.
They're fine? Okay, great. Okay, so Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Sure. On the special permit request by the applicant, subject to the findings and conditions of site plan review, Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Zambuto?
Yes.
Yes, the special permit will be forwarded to the full city council with a favorable recommendation, subject to the findings and conditions of site plan review. Next item on the zoning subcommittee agenda is 20-323, application by Sandra Tapia, 57 Chamberlain Ave, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to operate a kennel at 100 BFW Parkway, Revere, Mass.
Good evening, thank you. I'm not sure why my video is not showing.
Let's see.
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes, I am seeking permission to have a daycare training facility at 100 BFW Parkway. As I had mentioned before on our previous meeting, I am looking to maximum capacity of 40 dogs for daycare, and for overnight dogs only up to a capacity of 10. So I'm looking to be able to support all the dogs that are being allowed in all the buildings in the new housing, and to make it accessible for people for training and give them an out for their dogs to burn off some energy.
Great. Okay, Councilor Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did have one question. A constituent had called me, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I was just curious, would you be also taking in city strays or animals that have been picked up by the animal control officers?
That's one of the things I did want to be able to work with. I know Tony, the animal control officer. I need to be able to set that up separately than your regular daycare. That is my goal eventually, to be able to help out with that. So I just need to be able to get to that point with all the construction that's going to be happening. So, but I do plan on being able to help out with the city in that case.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a few constituents asking if that would be part of your purview. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Councilor Guanasso?
How appropriate, Mr. Chairman, a dog kennel near the old site of Wonderland Dog Track.
Couldn't think of a better
If we can't
spot.
get racing at Wonderland, at least we could get good dog care at Wonderland. And I think in her presentation at the public hearing, we certainly heard that everybody pretty much had praise for the type of person she is in caring for these animals. And we certainly know there's a need out there for dog care. I think every person in my community, in my surrounding area, has a dog. So there's certainly a need for a dog. So care so I'm all for it, and I think this is a wonderful location for it, and I hope I will be voting favorably this evening.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor McKenna?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sandra, I think I rode by the location probably about a week ago, and I think it's a perfect location for a doggy daycare. I think that during the COVID virus, adoption has gone up 100% with dogs and cats. So I think this is wonderful that this is starting up now. And there's plenty of parking down there. There's a great place for the dogs to have a kennel in the back. So I think it's a perfect location, and I will be in favor of this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Morabito?
Hi, Sandra, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I know my colleagues mentioned adoption and if you would take in strays. I know you're just trying to get set up with operation. But my question is, if you do have an adoption, do you have to meet certain state requirements for adoption agency, or can you just automatically provide adoption services with strays?
I would probably have to look into a specific certification in order to be able to adopt dogs out. I do currently work with rescues already, doing rehab for some dogs. So I know I can reach out to them and see what's required. I think as far as strays, I think maybe I misunderstood the question, but I think it was more geared towards like if they needed to house a dog that somebody found on the street, that I would be able to, that I would have the capacity for that.
Okay.
Being that it would be a stray, you have to take certain precautions to keep them separate from the other animals. And this is where I would say it would have to be, a little bit further down the line.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what it
talking
was.
years, but months.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. What would be the difference between taking in a stray or putting that same stray up for adoption? There must be guidelines. But yeah, if you get that information, I'd love to know more about it.
Absolutely.
You can reach out to me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of course.
Just as a point of information, this proposal before us tonight has nothing to do with strays or adoption. Sandy is saying that she would be happy to take in a stray maybe for a night or two and keep it isolated because strays could be not rabies protected. There's too many things that and there is certification that goes along with an adoption agency or even for that matter a shelter. And that's not what we're approving here tonight.
I completely understand, Mr. Chairman. That's why I said she just wants to get
Right.
an operation running.
No, great, thank you. And Councilor Visconti.
Hi, Sandra. I will be supporting this as well. I think it's desperately needed in the community, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
And now I'll call on the ward councilor. Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. During my many visits to the Point of Pines, Ward 5, I've had the opportunity to observe Sandra and the diligence and the professionalism that she puts into her work while walking the dogs down there. And I never once in my life, my time on this council, have I ever heard anybody complain about that. As Councilor Ganasso mentioned, there's been over 100 dogs every night at that park down there when it was Wonderland. There was a veterinarian right next to the park on the Wonderland property, probably 100 feet from where this proposal is going. And the thing that, I think we should all think of, every night we turn on the television and we hear about major corporations, major businesses going out of business because of the coronavirus. And here we have a young lady who is willing to start a small business in the city of Revere. Someone who has a proven record in her profession. And I think it's so important that we embrace people like that are willing to come into the city and open a small business or a large business, whatever it might be, because that's something that's so sorely needed in this city. So as the ward councilor, I will be supporting this 100%, and I want to wish Sandra all of the good luck possible to succeed in this business. So she's already proven she's has succeeded in her dog business, but this is a little larger, and it's a good thing for the city. Thank you, Mr. President, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
Thank you. Full disclosure, as I said during the night of the public hearing, I've known Sandy a long time, and she has an impeccable reputation, and certainly is more than qualified to run this facility. So I'm certainly going to support it wholeheartedly. And Madam Clerk, I'd ask for a roll call.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry. Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I don't know Sandra that well. And I did watch the session last week, even though I wasn't there. And I did sign a affidavit that I know what's going on with it. But, and it's great that everybody loves her and loves the work she's doing, which I congratulate her for it. Unfortunately, I found a little glitch in the issue. In the site plan review, they said that under the city ordinance, that a kennel cannot be within 250 feet of residential neighborhood or a residential zone. And unfortunately, with this location, right across the street on Kimball Ave, which is my ward, it's only 120 feet. And the only way that this can be approved by the city council is with a variance issued by the zoning board of appeals. Because it is a city ordinance. This is something that we passed 7 or 8 years ago for Julie Mendelson up in Ward Street, when she wanted to open up her doggy daycare up there. And this is what the city council voted as a city ordinance. Now, this is city law. So I would say that we have to make sure we take the right steps. And, you know, once it came about and it came back to us, I wouldn't think twice about voting for it. I do have a concern about barking dogs 100 feet away, 120 feet away. And I am waiting to hear from my residents in that neighborhood, which I passed out flyers this past weekend to let them know this was coming up. And the big thing that came up to them was barking dogs in the middle of the night. I know you only said there was only going to be 10 dogs overnight, but it's just the idea that the potential of barking dogs at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, bothering local neighbors, is a concern. I know Councilor Howard mentioned that, you know, there was a veterinarian clinic a couple hundred feet down the road. The ordinance wasn't in effect then. When Wonderland had their 100 dogs down there, that was a half a mile away. But this is very close to a neighborhood. I have concern, some of the people have concern. So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that this be tabled and that Sandy take some action to go through the ZBA for a variance, if that's appropriate with the city solicitor in the ZBA. So I hate to do this, but I want to make sure it's done right, because if you go through it now, it's going to come back and bite us in the butt. So I ask for, you know, that the committee table this and give Sandra some guidance of how she would move forward to come back to us, because we still have 3 months that we can table this and then bring it back when she gets the variance. So I don't know what your thoughts are, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you for the information, Counselor. I think I have a resident that's going to speak, and then we'll address what you stated. I have some concerns about it, and I may have to ask for a city solicitor's opinion. When you're saying that it's within 200 feet, we're talking about across a 4-lane highway.
It's 250 feet, Mr. Chairman.
Where there's any residents. But that being said, Madam Clerk, is it Armand?
Yes, Armin Mardani. He is unmuted at this point and is able to speak.
Go right ahead, state your name and address, sir.
Is he muted?
No. Mr. Mardani?
Oh, here he is.
Name and address, please.
He's there.
Sir, if
Hello?
Hello.
Here he is. Here he is.
Go ahead. Name and address, please. Name and address for the record, please.
Armin Radani,
Your address?
11 Kimball Ave, Revere, Mass.
Okay. What do you have to say?
Well, I guess that previous person, the older gentleman, I completely agree with him. I am one of the people that disagree with the lady. I'm sure she's a nice lady, very qualified. And just like the chairman said, this everybody was, 30% of the conversation was making her into a shelter. So we got to get that out the way first, because that is a lot of noise. That is a lot of, this is doggy training, right? Everybody says that the other gentleman says there were dogs here before. Everybody needs it. No, I have a balcony. I look outside all the time. There's one lady down the street that has a dog. There's nobody on Beach Street and nobody around their area that has that many dogs that it's needed in my area. And he's right. It's 120 feet away. Okay, there will be noise. Okay. And now she's saying overnight, which I didn't know she's going to keep dogs overnight. Again, noise. Okay. I'm all for having a business, but I don't think that close to the residential address. I disagree. I don't think it's needed. I don't think it's needed by the residents. And I'm happy that businesses are coming to Revere.
Okay. I'm going to stop you, sir. We got your opposition. I think there's no need to go on any further. I think I've got your.
Sorry, I haven't been to one of these before, so I didn't know how to speak.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we don't need a dissertation on what's needed or not. You're opposed to this, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you for your input. So before I go to other councilors, in the site plan conditions, it states that Ms. Tapia has to get a variance for the 250 feet. So it's all part of the record. I believe, and I'll ask the clerk, I believe that this body can still vote on this with the conditions offered by the site plan review, and that would, it would not become valid until she obtained the variance needed. Is that the way you see it, Madam Clerk?
Yes, I had spoken with the city solicitor. The 250 feet is a dimensional control, and any dimensional controls, any variance of dimensional controls within the zoning ordinances need a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay, so I'm going to call for a roll call vote with the conditions of the site plan review, which means that we can pass the special permit, but it won't take effect until if and when she gets a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Roll call.
Chairman, would you like the conditions actually read into the record? There are several conditions submitted, or does everyone have them? Did they receive them in their packets?
Yeah, let's read them for the viewing audience, please. Thank you very much.
This is from the Site Plan Review Committee. Number 1, in accordance with section 17.16.205A of the Revere Revised Ordinances, no kennel shall be placed or used within 250 feet of a residential use or residential district. 2, the applicant shall file a statement with the City Council and Animal Control Officer concerning the safeguards and protections it has put into place to ensure compliance with state and local health safety mandates. 3, the facility shall comply with all building, fire, safety, and Board of Health codes and provide adequate ventilation. 4, provisions shall be made for the removal and disposal of dog and food wastes, bedding, and other debris to be approved by the Board of Health. 5, the interior building surfaces shall be constructed and maintained so that they are impervious to moisture and may be readily cleaned and sanitized. 6, the facility shall have a suitable method to eliminate excess wash water from indoor housing and drains shall be provided to be connected to the municipal wastewater system to be approved by the plumbing inspector. 7, the premises shall be kept clean, sanitary, and in good repair to protect the animals from injury and disease at all times. 8, the operator shall establish an emergency on-call veterinary protocol to be prominently displayed on the premises to be approved by the animal control officer. 9, the operator shall establish an emergency evacuation plan due to fire and water emergencies to be approved by the fire department prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. 10, the operator shall have an adequate staff to animal ratio plan and require continuous coverage of animals by persons or by electronic surveillance to be approved by the animal control officer prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit. 11, the operator shall provide emergency provisions in case of loss of power to be approved by the fire department. 12, a parking layout plan and fencing plan shall be reviewed and approved by the Site Plan Review Committee prior to the issuance of a building permit. The outdoor play area and dog runs shall have an adequate safety surface and provide shade and water. The area is to be fenced in on all sides with a minimum fence height of 6 feet and provide dog-safe gates. And 13, a kennel license must be obtained from the Office of the City Clerk in accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 137A, and Section 6.01.130 kennel licenses of the Revere Revised Ordinances. That's all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Roll call on the special permit subject to the findings and conditions of site plan review. Councilor Jadino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong roll call. I apologize, guys.
We know you're working on this tough conditions here. You're working hurt tonight.
Chairman Zambuto, may I start the roll call over?
Please do.
I'm sorry. Councilor Janino?
Yes, again.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Keefe?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Zambuto?
Yes.
Yes, the special permit subject to the findings and conditions of site plan review will be forwarded to the full city council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My apologies, Chairman.
Listen, we understand you're working sick tonight, and we appreciate your effort. So I think we've got one more item, and
Yes, Chairman, there's one more item on the agenda for tonight.
Great.
20-334, communication from John V. Besta, 385 Broadway, requesting that the Revere City Council accept a donation of certain parcels of land for conservation purposes on Naples Road and Naples Road Passageway.
do we have the participant here, or is this just, we taking this up without anybody?
Mr. Festa was invited via email. I have not received a response for him yet, though.
Okay. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I think we can vote on this without input. We'll listen to the ward councilor. Councilor Guanasso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Over the past several years, the Festa family has made it a tradition somewhat to request a donation of certain parcels of land for conservation. And they namely were in the Hastings Street area, in the Naples Road area, to which you couldn't use it. It's conservation. And the only correct thing to do would be to revert it over to the city for its care and maintenance. And at this particular time, I think we should do that. In this Naples Road is about to get busy now with the advent of the new hotel and some of the garages down there that I'm trying to get some sort of cooperation from. So I think this is a good spot.
Thank you, Councilor Guanasso. Okay, Madam Clerk, is anybody else? Okay, I think we'll call a roll on this.
Councilor Novoselsky has his hand raised still.
Sorry. Councilor Novoselsky.
Maybe it was left up from the previous application.
Okay,
Okay.
let's call the roll.
On the donation of land for Naples Road and Naples Road Passageway for conservation purposes only, Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the donation of land will be forwarded to the full city council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. I believe that concludes the zoning subcommittee for tonight. Thank you all for your attendance.